Like, my life will never be the same. Ever. What is like going from this to this? And basically what I want to kind of go over is I was 175 pounds, and then the same height I went down to 145 pounds. If anything, I grew a little. So I lost 30 pounds in a summer, and I'll just tell you from firsthand experience, that was the single greatest thing I ever did in my entire life. Before losing all that weight, everything kind of felt like an uphill battle. There were certain friend groups that I really wanted to be a part of, but just wasn't invited into. And it felt kind of awkward anytime I was even with them, for whatever reason. Sports coaches weren't giving me the attention I wanted. I wanted to be like the main guy. I wanted the coaching. I wanted to get better. But for whatever reason, I wasn't the one that they chose to teach those things to until I lost all that weight. It's actually unreal how much better your life gets when you become good looking. People are nicer to you. They give you more opportunities. They'll go out of their way to compliment you and give you that happened to me today. Like, it's unreal. That would have never happened if I was an extra 30 pounds heavier. Can I say that for certain? No. Am I pretty sure? Yes. Life is just better. And it all kind of comes down to the big one. I mean, I'm going to go fat loss, clear skin, and a tan. There's all these other things you can do, but those three will get you so far. And from there, you have the freedom to pivot and go wherever you want. If you want to start a business, if you want to get into real estate, if you want to do content, like, those three will take you so far. It's unreal. And I mean, I wish I could share my experience like more, and I wish I had documented it back then, because it was such a pivotal moment. And maybe I'll go through and find some old things, but like, my life will never be the same ever. From here on out, it's just easier. Everything is. Like, I can't lose now. Can I have like failures and delays? Sure, and obstacles, but I'm gonna win eventually. And I do think a large part of that is because of what I've done with my appearance. I mean, I've gotten hired for jobs I have no experience in because of how they perceive me. And 90% of what they perceived is just what they saw. Sure, I can talk a little bit, but I had no experience. What is there to talk about? You know what I mean? Like, the optics takes you so far. There's always going to be other things you can do, things you can learn, tricks you can understand. But trust me when I say that is going to be the single greatest thing. For me, it's been the single greatest thing in terms of opening new doors and progressing in life to get what I want. Let me think of some specific. There was a time, this happened actually many times, but I remember I would be driving to a girl's house in my like 2004 Honda Odyssey minivan, and I would be tan, lean, fairly jacked for my age, and I just had the widest grin on my mouth the whole way there, blasting music, because I couldn't believe how good my life was. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that I was pretty upset with where I was at. I felt like, I remember thinking this in like 8th grade. I was like, man, did I peak in 5th grade? That sounds ridiculous to say now, but I remember thinking those thoughts because, I mean, in 5th grade, I was an athlete. Got into video games a little too heavy, got into Takis and Hot Cheetos, and from there, it was a little bit of a downhill. And all it took was just to like understand that if you can just fine tune and optimize how you look, everything else somehow magically rolls into place from there. And you can choose to believe me, you can choose to doubt me, you can, cope or whatever, but that's just my lived experience. And I hope that by sharing it, there's somebody out there who will take that advice and go fix their life, starting with their face. Sure, there's things you can't do, but there's a lot of things you can, and it's always going to help. And again, my main three: get lean, get clear skin, and get tan. And from there, the world is yours. But that's my experience.